welcome back to my class. As you know that I am Halim Nisan, teacher and junior lecturer of Allahabad High School and Junior College. So now we will start our lesson and continue it from that. Already we have discussed about the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Now we will start this lesson with our topic, that is the Union Government, and from Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Now the Supreme Court. In India, we have an independent and integrated judicial system. Yes, unlike the other federations, India has a single and unified judicial system for the entire country. Here, there are high courts at the state level and the further below the subordinate courts. It required the composition, appointment, qualifications, tenure and removal. Now, we will discuss about all these requirements in detail. First, composition. Here the Supreme Court consists of Chief Justice and not more than 30 judges. The President may appoint an ad hoc judges at the request of the Chief Justice. Now, appointment. Article 124 section 2 of the Constitution prescribe the appointment of judges by the President of India. These appointments are made after due consultations with the Chief Justice and the judges of Supreme Court and the judges of High Court, as the President may deem necessary for the purpose of these appointments. Okay. Here the consisting of Chief Justice of Supreme Court and 5 senior judges identify the names and suggest for the Ministry of Justice and for the legal affairs. Get it? This is the procedure of appointment. Now we will see the qualifications. Here, qualification. To be a judge of a Supreme Court, one must be a citizen of India. Exactly. And he has been a judge of High Court at least for the 5 years, or he has been an advocate of High Court for at least 10 years. Okay. It is a distinguished justice in the opinion of the President. Here come to the tenure. Here a judge of the Supreme Court retires at the age of 65 years and he may also resign from his office. After the tenure, now we will see the salary and allowances. Here the second schedule of the Indian Constitution provides for the pay structure and allowances. According to the 2009 modification, the pay and the allowances are to the Chief Justice of Supreme Court is 1 lakh rupees and for the judges of Supreme Court is 90,000. Okay, now come to the procedure of removal. A judge of the Supreme Court can also be removed by the President from his position only on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity if a resolution in this regard is passed by the Parliament and supported by the 2/3 of the members present and voting in each house and the majority of the total membership of each house. Get it? Now, after all these requirements, now we will see about the powers and functions. Here the jurisdictions of the Supreme Court may be categorized as original jurisdiction and the appellate jurisdiction and the advisory jurisdiction and the miscellaneous functions also. In appellate jurisdiction, here the constitutional cases and the civil cases and the criminal cases will come under this jurisdiction. Now we will discuss in detail about all these functions and powers. Here first is the original jurisdiction. Under this jurisdiction, the Supreme Court can settle all disputes between the center and one or more states and between the center and any state or states on one side and one or other states on other side. Get it? Here then between two states or more states, here these jurisdictions come under this all. Okay. After this, now the appellate jurisdiction. Here the appellate means concerned with or dealing with the applications for decisions to be reversed. Okay. Here under this appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court can hear the appeals of the constitutional cases, civil cases and criminal cases. Under the constitutional cases, an appeal can be made to the Supreme Court in cases which relate to the interpretation of the Constitution. Okay. Now come to the civil cases. In civil case also, an appeal can be made to the Supreme Court against a decision of a High Court. In these cases, the High Court must certify that the case involves a substantial questions of law to the interpretation of the Constitution. Okay. Whereas in criminal cases, an appeal can be made in the Supreme Court against any judgment. Here, the final order or sentence is given by a High Court in criminal matters. Ordinarily, the High Courts are the final court appeal, but the Supreme Court has been given the special powers by the Parliament to hear the appeal against the decisions of the High Court in criminal matters. Okay. Now come to the advisory jurisdiction. Here the Supreme Court has some advisory powers also, like the President of India can seek the opinion of the court if there is a question of law or the fact whether the interpretation of the Constitution is involved. Okay. The Supreme Court may give its opinion on the President's question, but it is not binding on any party. Get it? After all these powers, now we will see what are the miscellaneous functions. Here the miscellaneous means various type or different sources or the diverse. Okay. In this court of record first, the Supreme Court also act as a court of records. The judgments of the Supreme Court are recorded and considered as the authoritative and serves as cases, laws and the proceedings. These records have a great evidence value for the future cases. Okay. In these directions, orders or rights and contempt of court and revive of judgment and order and the guardian of the Constitution and the judicial revive and the public interest litigation and the independence of judiciary. The Constitution of India seeks out to guarantee the independence of Supreme Court of India and the High Court in various ways. Here the conditions of services and salaries of the judges of High Court and Supreme Court cannot be altered to effect advisory during the tenure. Okay. Here the judge of the Indian Supreme Court cannot be removed from the office until an order is passed by the President of India and the following process in both the houses of Parliament, and this resolution of Parliament has to be passed by 2/3 majority of the members present and the voting in both the houses of Parliament. So all these are come under the miscellaneous functions of the Supreme Court. So have a look on this picture of the Indian Supreme Court. Now after this we will discuss about the High Courts. The High Court stand at the head of the states and the judicial administration. Here there are 24 High Courts in India for having the jurisdiction over more than one state. Among the Union territories, Delhi alone has the High Court of its own, and other 6 Union territories come under the jurisdiction of different state high courts. So the Article 214 to 231 of the Constitution explain about the High Court's structure and its function. In High Court, the things are required for this post are composition and appointment of judges, qualifications, salary and allowances, tenure and the method of removal. Now we will discuss in detail about all these requirements for the High Court. Here the first is composition. The High Court comprises of the Chief Justice and such other judges as the President may appoint from time to time. The Constitution provides for the appointment of the ad hoc judges for a period not exceeding of 2 years. Such judges are appointed to meet the urgency of work in a High Court. Okay, then come to the appointment of judges. Here the Chief Justice of High Court is appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India and the Governor of that state. The procedure for appointing other judges is the same aspect that the Chief Justice of High Court is concerned is also consulted. Okay. Here the President can transfer these judges from one High Court to other High Courts. Get it? This is the procedure of appointment of judges. Now come to the qualification. A judge of High Court must be a citizen of India and he must have held a judicial office at least for 10 years in territory of India, and he also must have acted as an advocate for 10 years in one or more High Courts in the succession. Okay, come to tenure. Here every judge of High Court holds the office till they attain the age of 62 years. A judge can resign by forwarding a letter to the President. Okay, now come to the method of removal. A judge of High Court can be removed by the President on the ground of proved the misbehavior and the incapacity. Then the two houses of Parliament approve a resolution to this effect. Such a resolution has to be passed by the each house and by the 2/3 of the majority members present and voting. Okay, here we have completed the High Court. Here we have completed the High Court. Now the powers and the functions of the High Court. The High Court has the powers and functions like original jurisdiction and the appellate jurisdiction and the court of record and the power of certification and judicial revive and the administrative functions also. So now we will discuss all these functions and powers in detail. First, original jurisdiction. Here the High Court possesses the original jurisdiction in the cases related to the laws and orders of state and the administration, marriage, divorce and the contempt of court. And under the Article 226, the High Court is empowered to issue right like the habeas corpus and the mandamus and the prohibition and the quo warranto and injunctions for the protection of the fundamental rights of the citizens. Okay. Now come to the appellate jurisdiction. In this appellate jurisdiction, there are two types of cases, that are the civil case and the criminal case. Whereas in civil cases, an appeal to the High Court lays from the decision of a district court or subordinate courts. Here it provides that the dispute involves the value of more than 5,000 and or a question of fact or law. When come to the criminal cases, in this the case of punishment for 4 years or more, and all cases are involving the capital punishment and awarded by the session court are appealed in High Court, and the death sentence by the sessions of the court shall be approved by the High Court only. Now come to the court of record. Here the High Court's decision and judgments are recorded and taken as a judicial precedence. Okay. Now the power of certification. Here in most of the cases the High Court gives a certificate to appeal in the Supreme Court on its decision. Okay. Now judicial revive. In this the High Court has the power to revive and declare any law or ordinance alters the Constitution only. Up to here, these are the powers of the High Court. Now, the administrative functions. In this administrative functions, through under the Article 227, every High Court has a power to supervise its subordinate courts, and it can issue the general rules regulating the practice and proceeding of subordinate courts, and it can ask for the details of the proceeding of the subordinate courts, and it can also transfer any case from one court to another court according and through the article 228, and it can even transfer that case to itself and decide the same. Okay, and it has also the power to investigate and inquire into the records or the other connected documents of any court of subordinate to it. Here the High Court has the power to appoint its administrative staff and determine the salaries and allowances and other conditions of the personnel working in subordinate courts. Okay, have a look on this list of the Indian states, capitals, high courts, assembly seats and council seats also, and see the picture of the High Court of India. Now by this we have completed our third chapter, that is Union Government, and through this topic and through this lesson we have understood and come to know that the three organs of government, namely the executive, the legislature and the judiciary, are well structured in an Indian political system, while the parliament acts as the legislature and has the powers of enacting the laws, and the council of minister government the country and as a real executive. Here the Supreme Court plays a very important role of the federal court and protects the interests of the citizens, and also the Supreme Court of India has the power of judicial review to examine the constitutional validity of laws, executive orders and the official announcements, so that the structure of the union government in India symbolize the Westminster model of legislature controlling the executive. Here the President of India acts as the head of the state and the Prime Minister as the head of the government, and the Vice President of India also has certain constitutional powers in the governance of the nation. All these things we have understood through this our lesson, that is Union Government. Thank you.